Pikmin 2. I love Pikmin 2. It's heavily overhated for being called flawed when compared to the other mainline Pikmin games, and I don't understand that. One of the main arguments for Pikmin 2 is that the caves were a bad decision. This was because they gave you an infinite amount of time and no real punishment or stakes if you take too long. I've always found this incorrect because Pikmin 2 featuring caves was a perfect addition in my humble opinion. However, this isn't a defense of Pikmin 2 video, rather more so about the caves themselves. Whether you like them or not, Pikmin 2's caves have some of the most experimental music I've ever heard in a video game. With experiments, there's always bound to be some failures and some big successes. For today's video, I'll be going over the 24 songs that you can find throughout these caves and rank them from worst to best. Put on your headphones as we rank every Pikmin 2 cave music. This track isn't horrible, in fact none of these tracks are, but how am I supposed to put Concrete 1 above any of the others if it just sounds like someone's farting? like why? Okay. I mean, it does have some nice added instruments as you explore a cave with the song, but I feel as if even with that, it doesn't save these fart sounding noises made by the horn. What's interesting about this track is that in the release of Pikmin 2 on the Switch, the horn that sounds like a fart is just completely gone. Weird, but maybe even Nintendo didn't like the horn. Soil 3 sounds mischievous at first until we get back to more fart sounds, yeah. However, these aren't half as bad as Concrete 1. Besides, the alternate name for this track is Gassy Grotto, so it makes sense. This track also edges Concrete 1 for its added instruments, and it actually meshes well with the horn, and I really like that. Anytime I hear this track though, I just think of the annoying withering blowhog. Ugh, I hope you burn. Next we have Tile, and I mean, if you like shower ambience, then this is a track for you. It sounds basic, but it does get more interesting as you explore the cave with this track. For a track that just sounds like bathroom music, this is most likely the song that plays in the background every time you lose a majority of Pikmin. Curse you, Spotty Bullberry, and your spottiness as you feast upon innocent Pikmin. I don't know. Oh hey, another Soil with Soil 2, and oh, welcome back, Farting Horn. I would say this track is below the others easily if it wasn't for its enemy near variation. Just listen to this, it's awesome. It goes from just farting to a whole Pokemon theme in seconds. I like this track, and it's definitely the best of the horn tracks. This track is really funky. It has me hitting a Charlie Brown dance. This track usually plays when the dweebles are around, and I just imagine them grooving the entire time. Another thing I want to bring up is that this song sounds like a familiar track from a game I played as a child. Here, take a listen to this comparison. Pretty cool, right? For those who played Cool Math as a kid, I'm sure you know what Color World is. Because of that sole reason, I liked it more than Soil 2. For a track that's literally named Fire, it has to be fire, right? It starts off very dull, but then out of nowhere, some random guy starts playing the bongos, probably Isaac Tings, and you start bopping your head, and then out of nowhere, we get even more drums making this track pretty fire. See what I did there?
Boo! You stink!
Can't be asked. Grass? Really? Anyways, aside from the funny name, this track is definitely on the experimental side. I love the added instruments throughout the track as it gives it a little adventurous vibe. By the way, this track accompanies one of the weirdest sublevel areas as it shouldn't make any sense, really. How are some sublevels so dark and then you go down a bright and sunny playground area, like what? It doesn't make sense at all, but who am I to question the logic of Pikmin when the whole timeline itself is confusing? Just touch grass and enjoy this funny soundtrack. Ever want to know what ordering an NFL bundle at McDonald's that includes 4 hot and spicy McChickens, 4 cheeseburgers, 20 piece of nuggets, and a basket of fries sounds like? Well, here you go, with the theme of the giant bread bug. I find it funny how the only 2 bosses have their own theme song in Pikmin is the final boss himself and just the giant bread bug. The track is able to make the giant bread bug more memorable, so there's that. The song is rather catchy too, and it almost makes you forget that a giant loaf of living bread is taking away your treasure. Makes you wonder how the only mainline Pikmin game where breadbug were not in was the only one where the game was just heavily involved food in it, being fruit. Why weren't they in Pikmin 3? Why Nintendo? Why? Metal 2. When entering a cave with this track, it almost feels like you're entering a battlefield. It also would work great as a Pokemon Victory Road theme, not gonna lie. It doesn't make sense as this track is played in some of the most chaotic levels. The 7th sublevel in the Subterranean complex specifically is a nightmare. You mean to tell me I have to defeat that Gatling growing from up there? This track complements these sublevels well, and because of that I have to rank it at number 16. Good stuff here. Wow, we are zooming through these fast, and next up we have Toy, which, to the shock of nobody, sounds like a toy factory. Using instruments children would use, like a xylophone, is pretty cool. It sounds upbeat and cheerful, and this is used in a good amount of sublevels for Glenn's Kitchen, so most associate this track with the cave. This also appeared in Dream Den's sublevel 2, but other than that, just nothing else. Shout out for this song playing in sublevel 3, by the way, where it's the only sublevel in the entire game where you can find a golden candy pot bud. Now we move on from a toy to a toy railroad. Now we're getting to the tracks where the good become the greats, and Toy Railroad is great. It probably has the best start to any of these tracks, along with the great usage of a toy train, making this track more unique. This whole track just has an amazing flow in general. As Jonah Schwab once said, we making it out of Glenn's Kitchen with this one. Now we have Metal.
They're dropping someone off.
Yeah, this track plays when the most anxiety-inducing enemies are on screen. Looking at you, Doriji Bug. Because of this, you can barely pay attention to the actual song because you have Gatling Roinks trying to aim fire at you. For some reason, the battle part of this track just makes it sound like you're in a desert rather than a cave, but we love it. If only I could pay attention to this track more than having to worry about a bomb rock like every 5 seconds, like come on. Snaggart Hole has always been interesting to me. It sounds like you're traveling through a nice peaceful village around the time the sun is nearly setting. I guess it also sounds like an area of a bird's nest, and why do you think there's snaggarts everywhere? While this track is interesting at first, it becomes funny as this weird boing sound is included, making the whole level just sound goofy now. Here's SpongeBob footage just to make this track even funnier. Anyways, that's enough of Snaggart Hole, and now we're gonna... hello?
Hey, Daniel, my man, what's good?
Not much, just recording a Pikmin 2 cave music ranking right now.
Pikmin 2? Sounds awesome. Hey, man, which one you on right now?
Snaggart Hole, the one that sounds like a peaceful village with snaggarts.
Oh, you mean the song from Ahead in Time? I love that one.
What? No, from Pikmin 2.
Nah, it's totally from Ahead in Time. My Blue Yoshi Plus can tell you.
Nah man, it's fine. I'll call you later once I'm done, alright?
Alright, broski.
As it turns out, apparently the track The Birdhouse Peak from Ahead in Time was a little inspired by Pikmin 2, as both areas you go through a birdhouse and parts of the song are just from Pikmin 2. It's cool to see that games are getting inspiration from Pikmin, and I never thought I'd have to bring up Ahead in Time, but here we are. Also, snaggerts can also burn and die, like it just... It's insane how the two songs that play in the first cave of the game are really good. Coming in at number 11 is Emergence Cave 2. This is the less calm version of the first Emergence Cave track. This track is also used in the Subterranean Complex and the Frontier Cavern. There's nothing too special about this track, but it is calm and it brings a nice peaceful energy. It makes sense why a track like this would be a part of the first cave. It brings a mysterious yet adventurous vibe, and I believe that's what they were going for in this cave. Some really good stuff here. Metal 3 is one of those Pikmin 2 caves where it just gets better as it goes. This track is only in 2 sublevels, which is why I don't remember it as much as the other tracks. The song goes from okay to great when you approach an enemy. Just listen to this transition, like, oh, it's so awesome. This track is really cool because of this. It also, to me, sounds like a way more active version of Formidable Oak from Pikmin 3. Yeah, I know it's a stretch, but hey, it reminded me of it when I first heard it. Its working variant is also cool. It reminds me of a Bellsprout Tower kind of tune. Remember when I said how Soil 2 was the best horn-sounding track in this game? Well, scratch that, as I was entirely wrong. The horn sounds really good here, and I love the drums that accompany it. I used to be a trumpet player for most of my school career, so when it comes to brass instruments, I'm all up for them sounding amazing and not like farts. The Treasure version of this song is even better and has me grooving whenever I listen to this track. This track also makes me think of Scruffy, so that automatically makes it a banger. Now we have an interesting one, being Keyget. Yes, that's the name, Keyget. This is a cave song that would always play in challenge mode. For a song that you'd hear so many times for a mode, thankfully this is really good. I can't help but keep hearing the Pikmin 4 theme with the first note though, playing over and over again. The rest of the song though sounds pretty good and reminds me a little bit of Earthbound. Of course, with the rest of Pikmin 2's cave music, it just gets better as more instruments are inserted, and I love the addition of the drums here. It also sounds like the Wii Shop, but that's just a huge reach. We now have reached the ranking class of Masterpiece. From here on out, every track in my opinion is a banger and a masterpiece. It's just amazing. Starting us off is Relax, a very soothing and calming track. This track would play during the rest sublevels in Pikmin 2. You know, those sublevels where there's no enemies and you can just kind of take a break. Some of the caves can be chaotic and even overwhelming, so whenever you encounter this type of sublevel with this song, all your worries just momentarily go away. I love this track, and I remember always using this track specifically to always fall asleep to. I really love this track, and I owe it a lot for helping me sleep. Unfortunately though, I know there are better tracks than Relax, but I want to thank composer Kazumi Totaka for this track. You did a great job. Anyways, let's continue on with this list. Now this is shower music. I love this track for many reasons. It's so spacey and it fits very well with the jelly floats, hence the name of this track. Drums once again are really good here. It's another track that has yet another mysterious vibe to it, but it sounds relaxing and nice to listen to. A user by the name of Antonio D. Metro actually pointed out that it sounds like Tenda Village from Earthbound, and let's bring up that comparison, shall we? Yeah, I mean, I guess it does. I don't have anything else to say about this track other than I love the jelly floats, they're awesome. We're now in the top 5 and these tracks are easily S++ tier. We have Bull Black's Kingdom up next and it had no reason being this good. This is literally a national anthem for Bulborbs, it's just crazy. This is such a noble theme for the Grand Emperor Bulblacks, and it feels like these orange Bulborbs are just underlings working for the Emperor who calls the shots. It just feels like we're marching into battle in a kingdom, it's so cool. I love this track so much because it makes the cave better. When the cave track is able to make the cave itself better, you know it's going to be a huge banger. In Grub Dog we trust. If only the Emperor Bulblacks at the end of this cave was actually tough, but sadly, no. Next we have, is that a recorder? Bro, this is amazing. I'm sure some of you were given a recorder to use for music class or something. And I'm sure like you probably didn't sound that good, but this is amazing. Like personally, when I used a recorder, I always thought it was a bad instrument because I didn't process the fact that I was bad myself, but this is how you use a recorder. I didn't know it could sound this good until this song. It almost makes me want to use a recorder again, honestly. I'm not sure if I still have it though. Do I? Anyways, I love this song and it perfectly goes well with the Frontier Cavern. Those hairy Bulborbs must be having a good time sleeping while a recorder is playing just amazing music. Hand cymbals and a shaker too being used for this song. This track just has everything and it's just a banger. I love the variety in instruments and it sticks out from the others. A classic and definitely a track I'll fondly remember when it comes to the Pikmin series. At number 3 we have the infamous Submerged Castle. This is easily the most popular and memorable cave track in all of Pikmin, and dare I even say of all Pikmin tracks. This cave is supposed to be eerie, mysterious, and anxiety-inducing as you're forced to act quick before an inevitable timer comes to its conclusion. There's only a few cave tracks in Pikmin that have no alternative Louis version, but the fact that there's no enemies, treasure, or just any other variant is kind of unsettling. And no matter what you do though, nothing will change the fact that he is coming. Emergence Cave 1. Breathtaking, mysterious, and just calming. Those are the 3 words I can use to describe this track. This is the very first cave track you hear in all of Pikmin 2, and it sets the tone immediately for what's to come with these caves. It's truly magical, and it's amazing for the starting cave. The battle part of this track sounds like Mario's Sunshine, and I love Sunshine, so that makes it instantly better. Out of all the Pikmin 2 tracks I've listened to though, I'm surprised that this one has over 100,000 views. People are also comparing it a lot to other media or games that they can remember. I guess the song is so mysterious that it makes you wonder what the true identity of the song is. Well, the answer is nothing, at least, not yet at least. Only you can forge your own path in Pikmin 2. The Emergence Cave is only the start. This cave is also the only cave without a boss, which, I mean, I guess that makes sense considering it's the first cave. Overall, an amazing and relaxing cave track. Wow. I have no words, honestly. This track is just beautiful and very pleasing to the ears. Flooded Stump, also known as Mystic Marsh, is probably one of my favorite tracks to come from all of gaming, and that's not even a joke. Remember how I said that the relaxed track helped me sleep? Yeah, well I had Flooded Stump as my alarm, and I still do to this very day. It's so peaceful and calming, it's just amazing. This track only ever appeared once, and that was in the Hole of Heroes, being the 6th sublevel. It's a shame really, because for the best cave track ever in Pikmin 2, you're only gonna have it in once? Well, that wasn't always the case. You see, you know how we talked about Submerged Castle and its unsettling music? What if I told you that Flooded Stump was also supposed to play on the Submerged Castle? What? Yeah, it's crazy, I know, but unfortunately the theme of Submerged Castle was hard-coded into the game, so it could never play. If you played Pikmin 4, it probably would have worked the same in Pikmin 2. A calm and relaxing song until the Submerged Castle theme slowly becomes louder and louder. Overall, this is just an amazing track. I really love it and I hope you do too. 10 out of 10 track. Alright, well that was every Pikmin 2 cave. I just want to thank everyone real quick for 100,000 views on this channel. That's amazing. It's insane, and I guess hard work really does pay off, and I'm sure we can hit maybe 1,000,000 views one day. Maybe. That'd be awesome. Another shout out to I'm Only Here for Pikmin, as he inspired me to make a Pikmin 2 cave music ranking on my own, and I hope it turned out to be a good video for you all. Anyways, I've been Daniel Unlimited, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.